the appearance day this coming Sunday, actually, of perhaps in our line of parampara, as far as the title Acharya goes, the most famous one is Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya. His appearance day on Sunday. But today is the appearance day of 3 or 4 prominent personalities in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. And amongst those is his own consort, Vishnu Priya. Today is her appearance day. I don't have time to talk about all these wonderful personalities. Much, a little bit, which we'll do in a few minutes. But Vishnu, I'll just mention them and then we'll talk a little bit after some kirtan. So Vishnu Priya, the eternal consort. When the Lord appears in this world, it's the same Lord, he just takes different forms. Different time, place and circumstances. He appears as Ram, Nrsimha, Radha and so on. It's the same Supreme Lord, he's just appearing in different forms, manifesting different aspects of his opulences, his potencies, his character and so on, according to the need. Krishna is the full, he's the Swayam Bhagavan, he's the complete form of Godhead. But when he expands as Narayan, or when he expands as Ram, he manifests a certain aspect, a certain mood, rasa, today's Basant rasa. So he manifests a different nature. Same person. We do the same thing. It's like when you come to the temple, you behave a little differently than you do if you go to the gym. Some of you may go to the gym. Some of the very healthy men, those who go to the gym are actually those who are not healthy. They have to spend, because they're working in unhealthy jobs, they have to spend all their money going to the gym, spending the money they get from working in unhealthy jobs to try to get healthy. It's kind of a dilemma. Instead of walking to work when you keep healthy, if you walk 2 kilometers to work, you'll keep healthy, active. You have to go in your car, spend a lot of money on the car, and then spend a lot of money going to the gym, and you end up spending the same amount of time, by the way, 2 hours in the gym. Maybe you save half an hour each way in the car, but then you lose 2 hours in the gym. So it ends up the same. You could walk to work, save money, good for the environment, good for your health, not good for the gym. They go bankrupt. Like that. We live unnatural lives, not very natural. But Vishnu, when the Lord appears in this world, in his many various forms, and he expands in various ways. So you dress differently when you go to the gym, you go dress differently if you go in swimming, you behave differently when you're with your friends, you behave differently when you're with your wife, husband, children, when you're in the office, when you're on the street. You're the same person, but you're behaving, even dressing differently, maybe even putting on different, ladies particularly, different, makeup and maybe different hairstyles, all sorts of different things. But you're the same person. But because we're not God, you can't just manifest a different type of body just like that. But to a large extent, we decorate the body differently in different situations, isn't it? Like when you go to work, I doubt whether many of you wear your dhoti when you go to work, do you? You wear your dhoti at work? You wear your tilak? Sometimes you can wear your tilak, but most of us will shave your head with a shikha. When you come to the temple, you put your bald wig on, right? Some of you have shikhas, you probably have a bald wig and you put it on, a little shikha sticking over your hair. You do different things in different places and behave differently, talk differently, isn't it? So why? Because the situation requires it. So when Krishna requires, or when the situation requires, he appears accordingly. He's free, he can do what he likes, but he reciprocates it. And not only he, but his associates appear with him. His internal, now this is the difference. We, the soul, we're known as tatastha. We're marginal Jiva Shakti. We have some of the qualities, but we don't possess this quality. The internal energy of the Lord, Ladini Shakti, energy of the Lord, and all of the Shakti Tattva, the internal energy of the Lord, they're eternal. And when the Lord expands, they also expand. His energy expands. So personalities like Radharani, of course, is the most intimate and close and almost inseparable form of the Lord's expansions, you could say. Lord Balaram, they also expand when he appears as Ram, or when he appears as Narayan, or any of the forms in the Sringadev. The necessary opulences of the Lord personified also expand. And sometimes they expand in apparently, let's say, ordinary forms. They may do like that, but that's another topic altogether. But they expand. So Krishna expands. And his eternal associates also expand. So Radharani expands. When the Lord appears as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Radharani, of course, he's also himself in the mood of Radharani. He's Krishna in the mood of Radharani. Radharani in her various expansions, she also expands. And she has her own expansions. Her Astasakis and others, they're expansions of Radharani's, you say, heart, her personality, to facilitate her service to Krishna. They're individuals, in one sense. They possess their own individual natures, but they're expansions of the Lord, of Radharani. When they come in this world, it's like Vishnu Priya. Vishnu Priya is the eternal consort of the Lord. Like Lakshmi Priya also, another consort of Lord Chaitanya. They're eternal consorts originating from Srimati Radharani. And anyway, all sorts of different expansions are there of the Lord to facilitate his purpose, his pleasure, and so on. So today we have Vishnu Priya's appearance day, and we have Pundarik Vijayanidhi's appearance day. We'll speak about Pundarik today a little bit, because the others take too long. Raghunandana Thakur, another one, eternal associate of the Lord, is his appearance day today as well. Amazing, you know the little story of Raghunandana. Raghunandana's father was named Mukunda. He was one of the Lord's close associates. And Mukunda was worshipping the deities, and Raghunandana was his son, little boy, not very old, older than this little chap here, but not very old. But he would assist his father. So one day his father, Mukunda, he was, I think he was a physician. He had to go out on some medical business. So he showed his son what to do. He prepared everything and told him how to make the offering and everything to the deity of Radha Gopinath or something. And he showed him what to do. He said, do it like this, ring the bell, dang, 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 and offer it, and make sure the Lord gets his lunch, okay? Make sure he has his lunch. Okay? Make sure he has his lunch, young man. He's not quite ready for that yet. But anyway, then Mukunda went out and left his son behind to do the offering, and the son didn't really know exactly how it worked, but he knew what to do. He didn't know, the response of the Lord. So he put the plate there in front of on the altar in front of the deities, and rang the bell, said the mantras, but he saw that Krishna wasn't eating. The plate was still there, the food was still on the plate. So he thought something was wrong. My father said, make sure Krishna eats his, bhog offering. So he was thinking he actually would eat it like anyone else. So he started to cry. He started crying, oh, please eat your lunch. Please eat. Krishna, please eat. But he wasn't eating. And then Krishna, seeing the poor boy crying, said, what's wrong? He started to speak. He said, please eat your lunch. My daddy told me you had to eat your lunch. Oh, right then. And then the day actually ate everything. Literally. There was nothing left on the plates at all. He wouldn't let him, if you have children, I don't know, it's different now. When I was a kid, my father would not let me leave the table until there was nothing left on my plate. I would sit there for an hour sometimes until I'd eaten everything. He trained me so that I didn't waste anything. Nowadays, not so much. I see so much habit of taking a lot on the plate and eating a little and throwing it away. It's not the children's fault, it's our fault. It's an offense. is an offense. In fact, it comes, materially it comes under the category of sin, devotionally it comes under the category of offense. Bear that in mind. Train the children as much as you can, force people, but to only take what they can eat, not what they are going to eat. Obviously you can't guarantee it, but as much as possible we try to do that. Don't just you have to supervise, especially the young ones. The servers, they sometimes put huge amounts on the little kids' plates, which they should not do either. Even if the kids say yes, yes, yes. I mean, they come back and get more later. Eat this first. We were always told that, eat this first. So anyway, Krishna can eat the world, he can eat the universe. So he ate everything on the plate, and the little boy was very happy. Thank you. And so his dad came back after some time and said, did you offer everything to Krishna? Yes, Daddy. So where's the Mahaprasad? Oh, there's nothing left. Krishna ate everything. His dad said, come on, where's the Mahaprasad? No, Krishna ate it all. Oh yes, sure. And he went to look in the pots, there was nothing there. What's happened here? Is my son eaten it all, or some animal came in and ate it all? What's going on here? Maybe he didn't offer it all either. Maybe he just threw it away. What's happened here? So he prepared another offering and asked his son, go on, offer again. So Raghunanda Thakur, not Raghunanda, the young boy then, wasn't a Thakur. He didn't really know what was going on, but anyway, he offered it all again, whatever he prepared. And his father hid behind the curtain to watch what was going on. And there's Raghunanda, ding, 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 ding. Krishna wasn't eating anything. The plate was just sitting there like we don't see. Krishna's eating, but we don't see that he's eating. He eats with his eyes. He doesn't need to eat with his tongue. He eats with his eyes. We don't understand this. He eats with his eyes. But in this case again he said, please Krishna, please eat the food, come on, eat. And then his father's watching this, what my son is doing. And then suddenly Krishna spoke, he said, you want me to eat? I'm full up to here. You forced me to eat so much at lunchtime just a couple of hours ago. I can't eat anything, I'm completely stuffed. Oh, please eat something at least. And his father's watching this. Oh, right then. And he just picked up a laddu and ate the laddu, and his father was shocked to see how the Lord is reciprocating with his innocent devotees. So that's Raghunandana Thakur. He's famous for that pastime, of course. And it's also the appearance day today of Raghunath Das Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. But that would take all evening to discuss, so we won't discuss that. We've only got a little time. And it's also the disappearance day today of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, probably, at least since the 6 Goswamis, the most profound of our acharyas in establishing, he and Baladev Vidyabhushan, his disciple, establishing the actual, it's called Siddhanta, the conclusive truth of Lord Chaitanya's Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva philosophy. They establish in such a way to convince all other schools of thought. And Vishwanath Chakravarti is outstanding in his commentaries on, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada based his commentaries on his purports on the commentaries of the previous acharyas, and amongst those Vishwanath Chakravarti, probably the most prominent in Prabhupada's presentation. And of course he came later, a couple of hundred years after Mahaprabhu, something like that, maybe 150, 200 years after. So it's something in between. He and Baladev more or less lifted up Gaudiya Vaishnavism again in a very philosophical way, and established the authenticity of Mahaprabhu's teachings, which were questioned strongly by other scholars at the time. And to this day it remains a very strong foundational thesis of Govinda Bhasya, Baladeva Vibhushan, and the commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti, Sarata Darshini commentaries on the Gita, on the Bhagavatam, and so on. Very important. Acharya in our line, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Sometimes he said he's another form of Vyasadeva, Vyas. So the Vyas is a personality, but he appears, said in the future, it stated there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada also says, there will be many Vyasas appearing in the future to extend and expand the teachings and pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Srila Prabhupada is also a Vyas. Vyas means one who divides. Why does he divide? It doesn't mean divide in a sense of, division, divisive, or it means dividing things to help to disseminate the information, the Vedas, in a way that people can digest it. So it presents things like Prabhupada has done in a way which people in our day and age, those who live serious, that they can absorb and apply in their lives. They present the subject matter in a relevant way. This is Vyas. So that's Vishwanath Chakravarti Tirubhav today. But we'll talk a little bit about Pundarik, but first we'll chant a little bit. Kartals are probably very close at hand, but I just can't see them. The kartals are very close at hand, I guess. I don't know. We love to sing the Basant Raga, but I don't know it. I mean, I listened to it this afternoon, but it's like Carnatic, huh? Oh, what do they call it? South Indian?
Carnatic.
Huh?
Carnatic.
Carnatic. And it's, it's like, it's all about notes. It's not like a tune. It's like, the combination of notes. Rajas, yeah. It's a raga. But it's not like a song you can sing. Very, very sweet. You would be able to do it on your flute if you knew it. Huh? You know it?
I do, but I didn't.
You know it? No, I don't know it either. I just listened to it. There's no way we can do that. Absolutely no. I just listened to it once. Some sadhu, some saintly personality from South India was singing. Well, we don't have the songs here. You can put it on the board. I like to sing Radha Krishna Pranamor. Do you have a songbook here? Bring me a songbook, at least we can get started. You can probably find it on your mobiles. It's Radha Krishna Pranamor. I don't know what page it's on.
I will open it up for you.
You will? What pages are on? Around here somewhere. If you can find it then.
There will be an index below.
Yeah? Okay, see if you can find it. Radha Krishna Pranamor. I don't know if that's the actual title, but that's the first line. Big festival tomorrow. Wonderful festival. Pushpa Abhishek. There'll be lots of kirtans and beautiful Abhishek of flower Abhishek. So I don't know if any of you want to use the songbook. It's on page 73. Otherwise, those who are in a position to do so can look on your mobiles. If we were more organized, we could probably screen it up here. But I don't know if it's too late for that. Should have thought of it before, but no time. Dun, dun, dun. What's the tune? I haven't sung it for a long time. Radha Krishna Pranamora Yugala Kishore Radha Krishna Panamohana Yugala Kishore. That's not the tune I want to sing. I hope I can get it. Do you remember this? Sri Chaitanya here? Where is he? Huh? Radha Krishna Panamohana Kishore Radha Krishna Panamohana Kishore Radha Krishna Panamohana Yugala Kishore Radha Krishna Panamohana Yugala Kishore Purana Paramapati Haranahimoda Dupano Paramapati Haranahimoda. I'm going to go up a little bit. Kalindara Kulekehili Kadambara Vana Kalindara Kulekehili Kadambara Vana Vatana Udipara Jana Vatanande Yupara Osabudu Jana Amudu 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 Saki Vrinda Savisakari Jata Saki Vrinda Hajara Koriba Seba Charanara Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasaranudasa Deva Vilasa Kore Narotamadasa Radha Krishna Nathan Namo Yugala Kishore Radha Krishna Nathan Namo Jivane Marane Kati Arunahi Mo Radha Krishna Radha Krishna Radha Krishna Prana Radha Krishna Radha Krishna Radha Krishna Prana Radha Krishna Radha Krishna Radha Krishna Prana Radha Krishna Hare Krishna Prana Oh Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Oh Premanande Hare Krishna. I think we have, what's the schedule? At 8:45 is it? We're supposed to go on to another program? Does anyone have a schedule? I saw something somewhere. Huh? Can't hear. Someone has a written schedule somewhere? On your mobile phone maybe? I don't know. I saw it somewhere. Sure. Huh?
You can speak until 9 o'clock if you want, but we have also Mahaprasada for the ladies there, the sweets made of flowers to give the devotees as well. So you can start bringing it down here. You can
Okay. So speak for another 10-20 minutes, huh?
Till 9 you have class tomorrow.
Oh, till 9. I thought it was till 8:45. Okay.
Till 9.
Till 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, what more can I say? I'm not prepared anything, and I'm not really very knowledgeable, or certainly not realized, but I'll just speak a few remembrances on Pundarik Vijayanidhi is one of my favorite pastimes, and which occurs during Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. One time, maybe around about 1996, we were in Auckland in New Zealand. I don't suppose many of you have been to Auckland. We have a nice temple there now, beautiful temple. But then we had a beautiful temple too, but it was a small one in a kind of a converted house. And but we used to do a lot of dramas. And there's one devotee there, she actually coordinated a drama. It was perhaps on this day. I don't know what day it was. Perhaps, I don't know. But they coordinated a drama on Pundarik Vijayanidhi. And so they asked me to be Pundarik Vijayanidhi. And they said, we're going to have some rehearsals. And I said, you cannot rehearse this drama. You can rehearse parts of it, but you cannot rehearse Pundarik Vijayanidhi's part. It's not something you can learn. You have to live it, you don't learn it. Krishna consciousness, I mean, we learn certain things, but really Krishna consciousness is not just about learning, it's about living. The realizations come when we live it. When you live it. So anyway, this drama was a good lesson in this subject matter. And I'll tell the story. And we've never done that drama again since, and probably will never do it again. And I've never seen anyone else do it. I'm sure they have, but I've never seen. It's not the easiest drama to do, I can say you that. It's one of those dramas you know what the secret of drama is? You know what dramas are, right? Dramatic performances. I know the type of dramas I've seen here at Todu have not been exactly what I'm talking about. They're usually some kind of skit. We say in English as skits, usually. Leela drama, Leela, the pastimes of the Lord. These type of dramas, Leela pastimes, when done properly, really enhance our devotion, if they're done properly. They remain fixed in our hearts. I remember we did one drama on Madhavendra in South Africa, 1999. In this one, like Namahat, we did dramas everywhere, but this one sticks out. It was Namahat program, it was the appearance day of Madhavendra. And we kind of tried to do it as live as possible, where every single member of the audience took part in the drama. There was no spectators. This is how you do drama. You try to involve everyone. Sometimes you obviously have to do it where the spectators are there, but as much as possible, it's so nice when everyone takes part. And to this very day, whenever I meet any of the devotees from that Namahat in India, they always remember that drama. I never forget that drama that night. You know, and I won't get into the details, but they all took part. The drama which we did about Pundarik Vijayanidhi was not quite like that, because it didn't involve everyone. But if you can do that, it was nice. So anyway, I'll tell the story if I can. One time in Navadvip, and many of you have been to Navadvip, Mayapur. One time in Navadvip, Lord Chaitanya was seemingly feeling separation from somebody. Nobody could understand who it was. He bop, bop, bop. It's kind of like you say dad. I know what you say in Tamil for your father. Short. What do we say in Tamil, kids, when they address their father, huh? Appa, appa. Appa, appa. That's bop. In English, say dad. Mum, dad. You know, when the kid wants his father, Daddy! Isn't it? The Lord Chaitanya saying, bop, what was he talking about? Who's he calling? He was calling his own father, Jagannath Mishra. But no. He was father long gone. So he's wondering who it is. Nobody knew. So one day, when Lord Chaitanya, it was different Mukunda this time, Lord Chaitanya had quite a few followers with the name Mukunda. So another one with the name Mukunda, who was very Mukunda Datta. Mukunda Datta came from Bangladesh. And some of you may be from, anyone from Bangladesh? Anyone here from Bangladesh? No, you're not, Emil, you're from Bangladesh? No. He's from France. Coming from France, he's not. Emil. He's traveling with me. So you do have a lot of devotees from Bangladesh, I'm sure, here. But he came from a place called Chittagong, which is on the other side of Bangladesh. And there's a place nearby there, it's now called Pundarik Dham. Obviously it wasn't called Pundarik Dham as far as a village goes in those days, but that was named after him basically eventually, near Chittagong. So he was from there. This Mukunda Datta was from the same place as Pundarik. Nobody in Navadvip knew Pundarik because he was from Chittagong. But Pundarik had a house in Navadvip. And he, like, you know, rich. He was very rich. Pundarik was like a big merchant, big Vaishya, very rich. So he had houses here and there, and one of them was in Navadvip, and he would go there from time to time. Like you may have an apartment in Mayapur, you go there for the festival or something, you know. So he had a house in Navadvip, but none of Lord Chaitanya's associates except for Mukunda knew him, because Mukunda was from the same place. But none of the others knew him. So Mukunda said one day to Lord Chaitanya's constant associate, Gadara, Gadadhar Pandit, was a constant associate. We don't hear much about him, but he was always with Lord Chaitanya practically. Because Gadadhar Pandit is like another expansion of Radharani, and at that stage is completely assisting the Lord in his childhood pastimes. So Gadadhar Pandit had no idea. But one thing about Gadadhar Pandit was he loved to associate with advanced devotees. He loved to have the association of very advanced devotees. So Mukunda, knowing this, he said, Gadadhar, would you like to come and meet a very exalted Vaishnava? Oh yes, please. Come, come, come. And nobody else knew. Lord Chaitanya knew, but he wasn't revealing it. Nobody else knew. Who is this Pundarik Vijayanidhi? So Gadadhar was very renounced. He was a really simple brahmachari. He was always brahmachari. Very, very renounced. Lived a very simple life. Very simple life. Somebody left their japa beads behind from the initiation this morning. Were any of the initiates are here at the moment? Anybody here who got initiated this morning? Hands up. There you have in the back there. Rajini is there. Is that your beads in front of the altar? Did you leave them behind? There's a set of beads just in front of the deities. See them?
Hanuman.
Hanuman?
Lord Hanuman.
That's Hanuman's beads, is it? Okay. I forgot this morning. I was going to actually try to give those beads to one of the initiated devotees. I remember one time in Manila in the Philippines. We go in there a couple of days for a temple opening. Perhaps one of the first initiates I gave there. He was very, very jolly and jovial kind of like personality. So I played a trick on him because I told the story about my first japa beads, and they were made partly of dough. So I had a devotee make a whole set of beads made of dough, put them in the oven, bake them so they were hard on the string. And at initiation I gave him, for his japa beads, I gave him a japa mala made of dough. He was laughing. So I don't know, these may be, I think it won't be too good for Hanuman. He might burst the bees, you know. There's a secret underneath that covering. I won't mention what it is. Anyway, back to Pundarik. So Gadadhar Pandit was very eager to meet a very advanced Vaishnava. So Mukunda took him to meet Pundarik. And when they entered into Pundarik's house, now Pundarik was, as we said, he was very rich, very opulent. He was like a millionaire by today's standards, you know. He had a big house, very fancy decorations in the house, and there he was sitting on a big, like me, a big throne, you know, all opulences everywhere, silk and jewelry, and even on his fingers he had jewelries, and there's canopy, and there's a spittoon, and there's all kinds of opulent foods all around, servant fanning him, another one grooming. He had long silky hair, sandalwood paste all over here, and opulent silk garments, and he's sitting there, you know, looking into a mirror. Oh, Mukunda, welcome. Please accept my obeisance. This is offered his obeisance to Mukunda, and he offered him to Pundarik. And who is this effulgent young man who you kindly brought to my home today? Then he introduced Gadadhar. Oh, very wonderful that you come. But Gadadhar started to think, what's this? What type of an advanced Vaishnava is this? Who sits on a throne, has long, you know, groomed hair, you know, oiled, and that, you know, makeup, and even smoking a hookah pipe, spittoon, pan, opulent foods everywhere, fruits and different things, pomegranates, all sorts of fruits. What type of an advanced Vaishnava? I don't understand this. He seems to be a Vishai. Vishai means sense enjoyer. This is another aspect of why he's like that. That's another thing we may mention if we have time. So Gadadhar Pandit was starting to get doubts. You can imagine, he's a simple brahmachari. He's thinking that, advanced devotee must be, really renounced from the external point of view. Renunciation is not necessarily judged by externals. You may be performing renunciation but be absolutely attached. You're attached to the renunciation. You can't be attached to we can be, but ultimately we're not attached to renunciation of that kind. The real renunciation is Krishna describes in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, doesn't he? Anashrita karma palam karyam karma karotiya sasanyasi chiyogicha no niragnana chakriyaha. The real renunciation is not giving up things, exactly. It's actually not being attached to the fruits of one's work. Acting according to one's duty, one's obligation, without desiring to enjoy the fruits of the work. He is the real sannyasi, not he who lights no fire. Originally, of course, lighting the fire was a daily affair for Brahmins and so on. Not he who lights no fire nor performs no work. But one who does his duty, works without attachment to the results. Rupa Goswami says, Nibbandha Krishna Sambandhe Vittavaragi Uchate, that we should never give something up which can be used in Krishna's service. It's not ours. The real renunciation is to realize, just like Bali Maharaj realized eventually, that nothing's ours to give away. Everything belongs to Krishna. That's the actual renunciation, understanding what Krishna wants to be done with this is what we meant to do with it. It's not what I like or don't like. It's not mine to renounce. So depending again on the attitude of the devotee, but if we have this attitude of little pride sometimes, I'm very renounced, I'm giving everything, I've given everything up. Or we're enjoying the renunciation. No headaches, no problems, no tax, nothing, no money. And you're enjoying it. You're almost like sense enjoyment. Can be. Or there's pride is even worse. But all kinds of other, let's say, anarthas or unwanted thoughts come into the mind sometimes. So Pundarik wasn't like that. Anyway, Mukunda knew exactly who Pundarik is. So Gadadhar didn't. So Gadadhar was questioning, what type of an advanced Vaishnava is this? I'm bewildered. I'm bewildered. Mukunda looked at Gadadhar and he could see that Gadadhar was kind of like, you can see, they say the face is the index of the mind. You could see from his face that he was a little puzzled, bewildered. What is this? So then Mukunda started to chant, I don't know the verse, he started to chant beautiful verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam regarding Putana. You've heard of Putana, the first demon to try to kill Krishna when he appeared. And how merciful Krishna is. There's some verses in Srimad Bhagavatam which describe how merciful Krishna is. But despite the fact that Putana approached Krishna with one intention, to kill him with deadly poison, Krishna accepted the so-called deadly poison, and he sucked her very life air out as well as the poison from her breast. The milk, the poison, and her life airs, and she died. But Krishna then gave her a position as a nurse, one of his nurses in the spiritual world. See how merciful Krishna is. He started to sing this verse from the Bhagavatam. When Pundarik couldn't control his senses, he got overwhelmed. So I'm not going to do it now. My bones and muscles are not what they were in those days. I might end up in the Seberang hospital if I try to imitate what we were able to do in those days. And I just tried to go along with exactly what was happening in the drama, forgetting. Now the secret of drama, and this is a very interesting point, because in the material world, you might not know it, but you were playing a part in a drama. We're actually unaware of the fact that we're being pushed around, you could say, by our own desire, but by the material energy, playing different parts. One scene you're a dog, another scene you're a human, another scene you're a pig, another scene you might be a cockroach, you might even be that mosquito that you like to smash on between your hands. You never know. You take different roles in the Maya's drama, you could say. Different roles. And you completely identify with that part, don't we? When you're a man or a woman, you identify with it. When you're a dog, you identify with it. You forget everything. If you don't, you can't play your part. That's called a crazy person. They go crazy when they don't know who they are. You have to identify with your part, and the more you identify with it, the more you really get into it, and the more successful you usually are. When you really identify with your condition. That's materially. And in the spiritual sense of the term, well, we've forgotten our real parts. That's something else. It's like in a drama, you know, you're not actually, say you're on the stage, you're playing Ravana in the drama. You're not Ravana, you're playing a part. But you've got to behave like Ravana, isn't it? You may be a gentle character, but when you go on the stage, you can't say, oh, Ram, please forgive me. I didn't mean to steal your beloved wife. Please don't punish me. Please forgive me. I'll promise I'll never do it again. You can't do that. Ravana was angry to the last breath, right? He was completely enraged to the last breath to kill Ram, you know. You've got to play the part, you know. You can't go on the stage and dance and then not dance. You have to play a part. So similarly in spiritual life, or let's say in dramas. So this drama, I just meditated on Pundarika Vijayanidhi and just listened to what was going on and just let what happened happen. And you know, what did Pundarika Vijayanidhi do when he heard those prayers of Bhagavatams sung by Mukunda? He couldn't control himself. He just went into an ecstatic rage. Krishna! 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 And he just ripped his clothes apart. Smashed everything around. The spittoon flew this way, the chair went backwards, the servants fell on their backs. Everything went wild, the fruits flew in all directions. Everything was flying around. And he was flying around going crazy, crashing on the ground. I flew off the stage and crashed into the audience, literally. I landed on all the chairs and splat, you know, everywhere. Everything just went wild. I didn't have a single bruise or cut, not one. It was unbelievable. I mean, the stage was like this high, and it was like something out of this world, and it was like incredible experience. But it was just like a little indication of letting go of our identity and just being what we're meant to be. And so Pundarika Vijayanidhi was going crazy, absolutely crazy. Then after rolling around and frothing at the mouth, and here's everything going, ecstatic symptoms like anything, he went into a deep trance. And nobody knew what was going on, just silent for a long time. Internally silent. Then he came out of this, looked around, recomposed himself, and then resumed. And by now Gadadhar was like shocked, completely shocked. Oh my God, what have I done? He could tell by the symptoms this was not an artificial display. This was a real display of complete prema or love of Godhead. And he didn't know what to do. He thought, only in his mind. But he was thinking, I've committed such an offense to this great personality. What can I do? What can I do to atone for this? So he consulted with Mukunda and said, what can I do? He said, I think I have to take shelter of this personality. I would like to take initiation from this person. So we consulted Lord Chaitanya later on. Lord Chaitanya said, a very, very good idea. And they chose an auspicious date, and then Gadadhar accepted initiation from Pundarika Vijayanidhi. Although he appeared to be a very materialistic, wealthy Vaishya, and Gadadhar was a simple, renounced brahmachari, but he accepted like that. So this way he atoned, and Pundarika was very happy. Well, there's a connection here, because Gadadhar is this expansion of Radharani, and Pundarika Vijayanidhi is none other than, who's the father of Radharani in Krishna's Leela? Who's her father? Who knows? Father of Radharani? Vrishabhanu. Pundarika Vijayanidhi is nothing but an expansion of King Vrishabhanu, who of course was living in great opulence. And he was an expansion, so he's already the father of Gadadhar. So it was a natural thing, completely natural. And that's why Lord Chaitanya was calling out Bop, Father, Father, because in the mood of Lord Chaitanya, Pundarik is also his father. When he's in the mood with Radharani, then Pundarik is in that mood. He's the origin of Vatsalya Bhava, or pure loving affection in the fatherly mood, like that. Anyway, it's 9 o'clock, and that's probably the most famous pastime of Pundarik Vijayandi. There are a few others which are there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in Puri with Lord Chaitanya, but that's the main one. This, you can't judge a Vaishnava necessarily by their dress, by their appearance or their opulence, etc. Usually you can by their speech, but not always either, it depends. They may be hiding their identity for various reasons. As we could say in the case of Gokishore Das Babaji or something, sometimes these Vamsi Das even more, they would speak like madmen sometimes and everyone would go away thinking this guy's crazy. But actually they were topmost eternal associates of the Lord. But keeping away materialistic people, sometimes they had a different role. Their role wasn't to preach so much to them directly, but to, keep them away so people don't take it cheaply. The devotees have different roles to play in the Lord's pastimes. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much for a very auspicious day. We hope you can join us tomorrow as much of the day as you can. I think it's a lot of kirtan tomorrow, is that right? A lot of kirtan. I don't know what else is going on. Pushpabhishek, of course. Pardon? More plucking of flowers. So there's a lot of flower plucking to do. Where are you plucking them from?
We have finished marigold